This my two Satoshis. This my two Satoshis. Who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis? Yeah.
It's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. Today we're going to be looking at what's going on with Bitcoin. We see it starting to head lower, and this is after we saw the numbers last week with the U.S. inflation jumping to a 39-year high. We're going to talk about that. Again, I have to reiterate what Bitcoin's role is going forward in your portfolio from a macroeconomic perspective. Don't just think of it as an inflation hedge. Yes, it is, of course. I mean, you see the price of Bitcoin, 49,000 per Bitcoin. Just when I got into it in 13, it was only $90. Okay, so we definitely see that it is an inflation hedge. But as this thing matures, we have to start thinking about other elements and things that may affect Bitcoin or slow it down, because Bitcoin, again, I have to reiterate, is a risk on asset. When things hit the fan and you see turmoil, China, Russia, Ukraine, we got possibly a kinetic war coming. Possibly. I don't know if it'll get that far, but these are the things that worry the markets. And so you will see Bitcoin worry as well. You'll see cryptos worry as well. These are all things that we have to take into consideration. This one Wall Street trader says that there is a very, very stark forecast for altcoins if Bitcoin continues to head lower. I said this as well. You guys gotta, if you're altcoin heavy, I made that mistake in 2017, being very altcoin heavy. And I was taking profits on the way up, but my portfolio got slaughtered, right? So it's a double-edged sword. Yes, you make more gains in the altcoin market, but when things slow down or take a turn for the worse, then altcoins are going to get hit harder than Bitcoin. We're also going to touch on this stat, which is pretty neat to me. There's a new milestone that Bitcoin just touched. 90% of its total supply has been mined. So we're going to take a look at that stat. I mean, that's crazy. What does this mean for Bitcoin? Price-wise, if 90% of the supply has been mined, only 10% left, are we getting near a true price, true market value for Bitcoin? I'll let you know as well. And then lastly, I want to talk about what MicroStrategy, or Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy, he feels like there's only one legitimate risk to Bitcoin. And you'll be shocked to hear what this one risk is by Michael Saylor. He thinks that that's the only risk there is for Bitcoin. I tend to disagree, but we'll go through that article today. And we'll also touch on this inflation, 39-year high. Those numbers came out last week. We'll talk about that briefly. All 4 topics coming up on today's episode of My Two Satoshis. Let's get it. But before we start, if you guys find these types of videos informative, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. And before we get started, I do want to just bring your attention to 2 of my favorite crypto exchanges right now. Well, Bityard has been one of my favorites for many years now. I want you guys to get over there. As you guys can see in the rotating ad above me, they have this mystery box challenge where basically you complete different tasks on the exchange, like sign up, deposit, fund your account, make your first spot trade. The details are in there, as you guys can see once you sign up by using the link in the description below. There is a mystery box tab there at the top, and you can get more details about what you can achieve or potentially get for signing up for trading 400 AVA tokens and so on and so forth. There are different trading challenges, and then you will get a mystery box. You don't know what's in that mystery box. It could be Binance tokens, it could be Shiba coins, it could be NFTs. You just don't know. So make sure you guys go sign up. Very reputable exchange, as you can see, licensed and regulated in the United States, Estonia, and Singapore. So they are legit, ladies and gentlemen. Check them out. Link in the description below for extra perks. All right, so definitely check that out. Just want to get that out the way. But before we get started, I do want to show you guys this chart. I typically don't do this. I haven't done this in a while, but this chart here is your total market cap for cryptocurrencies. And what you can do is basically do TA, technical analysis, on this market cap chart. And what I am seeing here is that we've broken the upward trend, the most recent upward trend we've broken. We've also breached the last 2 to the left, 2 to the right, or the last all-time peak in crypto total market cap. All right, so with that being said, that means that we're going to have to go for an older all-time high peak. So I think we're going to be heading back to possibly $1.7 trillion market cap in the crypto markets. So that's something that you have to take into consideration. What does that mean for prices? Well, I mean, I don't know. It's not going to be reflective one-to-one, meaning when we will hit that $1.7 trillion market cap, it doesn't mean that Bitcoin's price is going to be right there where it was when it hit that price or that market cap. It could be worse. It could be higher. I don't know. I'm just letting you know. I think we're heading sort of kind of toward that $1.7 trillion market cap in the crypto markets, because we've breached some of those other critical technical levels in the market cap chart, which is something that, you know, I use. Okay, that's a tool that I use, or a strategy I use to kind of feel out where we're going overall from a macro standpoint in cryptos in the near future. So that's what I think is going to happen. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. I haven't tracked that or charted that in a while, but as you guys can see, we have lost about 4.6% off the market cap today. It was even lower earlier. It's at trading at $2.2 trillion. So 1.7 is actually not too far from where we are right now, but just keep that in mind. I think we may have some more lower prices to go before maybe finding a bottom. But let's take a look at this one out of Cointelegraph really quickly. Bitcoin loses $48,000 on Wall Street open as traders warn of an altcoin wreckage coming against Bitcoin, they say. So there's a trader here, Wall Street trader, that says that they believe that still continue to see a sideways or consolidated move in the near term, steering clear of an outright bullish call, he says. And that's from Scott Melker. He's known as the Wolf of all streets. I can see where we are consolidating at this moment, but again, because we've seen the breach of that last all-time high in the market cap, but I think we are definitely going to see a slightly lower Bitcoin price from here until I can figure out where we go from there. I'm just telling you, short term, I think we head lower. It's not just going up from here, in my opinion, based on a number of things. One additional one is looking at the macro view. Okay, we had a 39-year high inflation in November, and you know, many people are looking at Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. Well, damn, it has been. I've told you that, like, over the span of the 8 years I've been in this crypto space, you see how much Bitcoin has grown. So yes, it is doing its job against inflation. Maybe some of the later or newer investors or speculators are looking for it to be even more of a hedge against inflation. I don't know. Maybe they're asking for too much. You guys let me know in the comments below. But they're saying here that the CPI, that closely tracked by Bitcoin traders due to the cryptocurrencies used by some investors as a hedge against inflation, has risen to its highest level since the 1980s. That's right. It's got a print of 6.8 in November. It had a print of 6.2 in October. And we all know that these numbers aren't the real numbers. I can guarantee you that real inflation is probably closer to 11 or 12%. Yes, almost double where we are right now. I'm positive of that. I know you guys can feel that as well. So, you know, these numbers don't really reflect what's really going on. But people are asking in this article, saying, well, because Bitcoin is looked at as a hedge against inflation, why isn't it going up when we see the inflation rate going up? Again, I think they're not looking at the bird's eye view of this whole situation. It has been, Bitcoin has been outperforming all other asset classes. So I wouldn't be complaining. I think it's doing its job, to be honest with you. One other thing I want to touch on is this milestone, which is pretty neat. Okay, 90% of the total supply of Bitcoin has been mined, but the total supply won't be mined out until 2140. And that's let's say just 120, give or take, years from now, we will see Bitcoin last token mine. Now, we won't be here most likely, but what happens then? You know, is what's the incentive for the network to continue if the last coin is mined and no miners will be paid for securing the network? These are questions that we don't know the answer to. These are known unknowns, and to me, you know, we won't be around, so does it really matter? I think it should be something that you think about, because if you're holding this Bitcoin asset as a generational asset that you want to hold on for your grandkids, your grandkids' kids. This is something you need to really think about and consider. So we don't know what's going to happen. I have my theory. I think the experiment ends. Okay, I think by that point will be ushered into even other cryptocurrencies that may take the hold or place of a Bitcoin long term. 100 years from now, I mean, come on, no one knows. But if we know that the last coin is mined in 2140, then there's no incentive, there's no economic incentive for the network to continue. I don't care what the price is. If no one's getting paid for your mining, then what happens here? And so this is contrary to what CEO of MicroStrategy is saying, Michael Saylor. He thinks there's only one existential threat or legitimate threat to Bitcoin, and that is a black swan event, the unknown, he says. Now, I mean, of course, that's the easy answer. You can say that about any and everything. The only the only legitimate risk is a black swan, an unknown. That's stating the obvious, in my opinion. I mean, let's be a little bit more thoughtful about what risks are out there, because there are many. Okay, I don't know why Michael Saylor is acting like there aren't. In my opinion, I think you should not even pay attention to this type of article, this type of headline. It's just a clickbait situation, in my opinion. There are many risks out there for Bitcoin. Quantum, quantum computers is one. The advent of quantum powered chips, qubits, and all that stuff, that is an issue, right? I just told you about the last coin being mined in 2140 and there being no economic incentive for miners to continue to secure the network. That is a real threat. Michael Saylor said in this article that he feels like that's not a real threat. I tend to agree with him on that. I don't think that's as big of a threat. We saw China try to do it. We've seen Nigeria try. We've seen a number of countries try to ban Bitcoin, and it hasn't worked. We haven't seen the country that has the global reserve currency try to do it. What does that look like? That could be an issue. Do I see them doing that? No, I personally see them just creating their own coin and confusing people, and leading and trying to suck demand away from Bitcoin by issuing their own CBDC. I don't see them banning Bitcoin at this point. I don't see that. So I don't see that as a threat either. But there are a number of threats, in my opinion, that are legitimate. Can it be hacked? Again, he's saying no, it can't be hacked, or it hasn't been hacked. Hasn't been hacked and can't be hacked are two different things. Again, that falls to me in the category of quantum chips and computing. That is a threat. And lastly, he says, can it be copied? Is that a threat? It being copied? I agree with him there. Being copied, it's been copied thousands of times. And they haven't failed. Every copy hasn't failed. Litecoin is still around. Bitcoin Cash, even BSV, it's still around. It hasn't failed. Not as popular as Bitcoin, but it hasn't failed. So I tend to hear in this article disagree with Michael Saylor. Let me know if you agree with him. There's only one legitimate risk to Bitcoin, and that is a black swan. Come on, man, that's a cop out to me. Anyway, the last thing that I want to just chime on, and this slipped by the radar, under the radars. This is pretty neat. Myanmar shadow government declares stablecoin USDT as an official currency. I said this many years ago, that really the real adoption of cryptocurrencies, like it or not, it's going to be a stable coin. Okay, I said that we will see a country adopt a stable coin, I think, and see it be utilized more than, let's say, Bitcoin, because of its stable nature against other fiat currencies. You need a stable currency to actually use it as money. And so I think a stable coin is a perfect example of cryptocurrencies being adopted by a sovereign nation. And I think that's what's going to happen. More and more countries are going to do this. Again, we've seen this Myanmar shadow government has declared United States dollar-based stablecoin USDT as an official currency for local use. So this is interesting. Let me know your thoughts about this. Will you see more countries do something like this? I personally think they will. Let me know your thoughts. Is it of any benefit for other cryptocurrencies? to see more countries adopt a stablecoin cryptocurrency? I think so. It's an easier on ramp to Bitcoin or other cryptos. Once you get into the stablecoin game, I think that's an easy layup for additional adoption. So let me know your thoughts about that. Just wanted to give you guys an update on that. I thought that was neat. But that's pretty much it though for today, ladies and gents. Make sure you guys get over there to BitYard. Again, they have those mystery boxes. Never know what you may get. Just sign up and start knocking out those tasks and receiving your mystery boxes. All right, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. I'm out of here, people. Holla!